Our resistance band bicep curls are a great strength and stamina move for the biceps, so for the front of the arms here. You're going to want a resistance band here. If you purchased one of our sets in that welcome email, you should have a couple different options of thickness for those bands. The thicker the band, the tougher it's going to be. Otherwise, if you have different bands at home, you can always grab those as well. So you can pair up bands to find different thicknesses. Say maybe you only have like a 10-pound band and a 30-pound band, or a 10, a 20, and a 30. Maybe you can pair that 30 with the 10 and grab two bands, or you can pair that 30 and that 20 together and get a 50. So remember that you can always pair different bands together in order to adjust the resistance for those bands. What you're going to do is you're going to grab that band with those handles. We're going to step right in the middle of that band. I'm going to start with my feet together. That's going to make it the easiest for whatever resistance band I have. The further out my feet are, so the wider my stance here, the tougher it's going to be. So again, feet in close, easier. Further out the feet are, the tougher it's going to be. So that allows you to further adjust the resistance on these bands as well. So you can find different bands for thickness. That's your first way. You can pair bands together. That's your second way. Or your third way is adjusting the width of your stance. So lots of different ways to adjust your resistance here. From here, we're going to glue those shoulder blades back, upper arms at our sides, and we're going to simply perform a normal bicep curl. Same fundamentals that we would for that bicep curl with weights. Palms are facing up, keeping those elbows glued to our sides, curling on up, then coming all the way back down, getting that full stretch in the bicep at the bottom. Biggest thing to remember here is no swinging, just like we would on a normal bicep curl. We're not getting the torso involved in this. We're keeping the core tight. Other biggest thing, just like with a normal bicep curl with dumbbells, is the upper arms are staying glued to my sides. I'm not letting my elbows come forward and back. I'm keeping them glued in at the sides, and I'm getting full range of motion all the way down at the bottom, and then up as high as we can until my elbows feel like they're wanting to come forward, and that's where I'm stopping. The last thing to remember on this exercise, which is only on the resistance bands, is you want to make sure that resistant band is completely in the center of your foot here. That resistant band is not just kind of up underneath of the toes or on the heels, because while you're curling it can slip out and pop on up. So make sure that you have it right in the middle of your feet before you get started on this exercise. Slow and controlled on this one. Resistance bands are great because they provide constant resistance throughout that whole range of motion. Because of this, typically for resistance band exercises, we're going to slow that movement down just a little bit so that we're able to get the full advantage of that constant resistance throughout that range of motion.